Hello, my yogi friends. I have been very busy decorating my house in preparation for the holidays, and today a major snowstorm is falling, and I know how easy it is to feel unmotivated and fatigued and like we want to go outside. Not. We want to stay inside and stay warm. So today's practice is all about getting us moving, and I'm going to invite you to just come onto the mat, and we're going to start in our mountain pose. So feet hip width apart and hands down by our sides, facing forward, and maybe close off the eyes. And we're going to take in some oxygen that's cleansing and energizing, taking in a breath through our nose, and let it go out the nose. Taking in another breath, we're going to continue to get grounded into the earth. Breathing in and letting go through the nose. Notice any sensations in your body that you will especially need to pay attention to during this practice today. And as you're getting rooted into the earth and solid in your being, just be present. That's what the most important thing is about our yoga practice, being present and letting go of all those things that don't serve us. So a few more moments here, standing strong. And we're going to take in one last breath, and then we're going to let it go with a big sigh. So breathing in and letting it go with a big sigh. Good. Okay, open up the eyes, and we're going to do some spine warm-up. So let's start with taking our hands, and we're going to imagine just painting the wall, taking those arms up in front of us, letting those hands float up and float down. And let's do that again. Float those arms up, all the way up, and float them down. This time we're going to bend those knees, taking those arms up, straightening up, reaching up to the sky, and float those hands back down as our knees bend. Let's do that one more time, taking those arms up and float them back down. Nice. And come back into mountain pose. We're going to raise those arms up overhead, coming into bringing our hands together overhead, stretching up and over to the right, and looking up under that left arm, stretching over, cracking open the left side. I know it's hard to move when we're feeling cold. We just want to stay still and wrap ourselves with warm blankets and lift up, take a breath in and let it go, bending over to the left side. So I'll tell you what, after your practice today, you can wrap some blankets around you. Go get a hot beverage, hot chocolate, coffee, tea, and lift up. Let's take those hands behind us, and we're going to clasp them, pushing those knuckles down towards the earth and shining that heart towards the sky, getting in a nice shoulder stretch. Ooh, I'm hearing some crackage. And releasing, and we're just gonna do some twists and just let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, you didn't come here to be entertained with my singing. All right, and twist. All right. Now, I'm going to be facing the front of my mat. So the side of me is to you. We're going to take those arms up overhead, bend those knees, and we're going to come over into a forward fold. And land with our hands touching the ground. Maybe if you feel already warmed up, you can straighten your legs, but you don't need to. We're just starting to warm up. So let's come into half lift, flat back, and lower up, lower down, up, down, sideways, and rise all the way up again into mountain pose. Hands to heart center. And take those hands down and around and up. And bend the knees, come back down to forward fold. Take a half lift. So we're stretching out the back and the hamstrings and maybe the calves. And lift it all the way up again. So we're doing a sun salutation like stretch here. And hands down and around and up. And lower down to forward fold. Lift to flat back. And lower back down. And now walk those feet out behind you and maybe walk the hands a little forward, coming into a down dog. And walk those feet out, just pedaling back and forth, side to side, and making sure that you're balancing in all 10 fingers as you are doing this. It's important to be mindful of how you're not putting pressure on any one part of the body, but we're using our whole body no matter what position we're in. And find some stillness here. Maybe shake the head yes. Maybe no. And we're going to drop those knees to the ground. And we're going to bring those hands underneath us, coming to tabletop position. So we're going to lift up, doing some cat-cow. So take a breath in, coming into our cow posture, pushing that heart forward, sending those hips backward, and let it go. Coming over to our cat, pulling that belly button back, up and in, and letting go of the breath fully. Take another lift up. And back down. And come to neutral spine. We're going to come down onto our forearms and come into puppy posture. Send those hips back, up and back. And then we're going to, now if this is too much, as we go through this pose, if it's too much weight on your shoulders, then scale it back. Do what you need to do, listen to your body. We can stay here, or you can move on, taking that right foot back, and then send the left foot. So we're coming into a plank pose on our forearms. And holding it there. So we're adding some heat and strength building here. And then we're going to walk those feet toward the hands, coming into dolphin. And again, you don't need to be doing this. If you want to come down to child's pose, that's perfectly fine. Do what works for your body. And then push it all up into down dog. Nice. So we're going to walk those feet forward. Come to flat back and lower down. Rising all the way up, hands up to the sky, and then together and bring them to heart center. All right, so in this position, or from this position, we're going to take that right foot, nice and easy, send it back to the back of our mat into a warrior one pose, and send those arms up and overhead. So focusing on your alignment here, you want to make sure that your knee is not coming out over the front foot. Make sure your hip points are facing forward. See if you can get a little deeper into that pose. And take it up to straight leg. And we're going to twist and turn into warrior two. Now pay attention to your alignment here as well. Send your gaze out over that middle finger. Smile, open the collarbones. Always good to smile, especially during something challenging. And then we're going to do a few ups and downs. So we're going to send those arms up to the sky, straighten that front leg, and come back down. See if we can get deeper into that bend. Let's do that again. Send the arms up and down. Let's do that 2 more times. Up and down and up and down. Now flip that front hand over and let's tilt back for a reverse warrior. Reach those fingertips to the sky as you are reaching down that right leg. And take it forward into side angle. And if you want a little more challenge, take that left hand all the way down, stretching fingertip to fingertip and strengthening that leg that you're standing on in the front. Come back up to warrior two. Take a little lift up and back to prepare to come down to the ground and send that left foot back with the right foot coming to plank. And drop those knees in front of you. Drop that belly all the way down. And take a little lift to cobra. And lower. And push up and back to down dog. Let's walk those feet to the front of the mat. Take a half lift. And lower down. Rise up. Hands come together and bring them down to heart center. We'll do this on the other side. Lift that left foot up, nice and easy. And balancing, send that left foot to the back. And we're going to come into our warrior one, raising those arms up overhead. Pay attention to alignment, balancing in all 4 corners of both feet. Hip points go forward, stretching up. See if you can get a little deeper into that stretch. Nice. Straighten that front leg, and we're going to twist to come into our warrior two. Send that gaze out past your middle finger. Make sure that your hip points are facing forward. Your knee is not jutting out over that front foot. Smile open those collarbones. And we're going to do our up and down. So flip that front hand open and take it up and lower down. See if you can get lower into the stretch. Take it up and down. Take it up and down. I like to move with my yoga practice and up and down, especially when I'm cold and I need more warming up. And then we're going to take a reverse warrior, lifting that hand up, reaching for the sky as we send that left hand down the back of the leg. Nice, let's come into side angle. Resting that right elbow on the right knee, reaching that left hand up to the sky. If you want a little more challenge, drop that right hand, just touching your fingers to the ground, lengthening from fingertip to fingertip. And come on back up to warrior two. Nice. Take a little lift back in preparation for cartwheeling forward. Take that right foot back to the left and let's drop it down. And you can do this either in your plank, doing a chaturanga, or drop your knees and come into cobra, taking a lift up to cobra or up dog and pushing back where we'll all meet in down dog. And just catch your breath and reset here. Those were some more challenging poses. We're going to float that right leg up. And you don't need to go very high to feel the benefit of this. In fact, I know I start to sweat as soon as I start raising that leg. And then we're going to bend the knee and bring that foot all the way forward to a low lunge. So we're just going to hold in this low lunge, pushing back on that back foot to get a little calf stretch in there while we're shining that heart forward. And then we're going to place that left hand down on the ground as we lift that right hand up, coming into a twist. So you might feel this in your glutes and your hamstring. Maybe there are places you feel it that other people don't. And bring that hand back to the ground, framing the foot. Drop that knee. And we're going to bring the top of the foot to the mat as we rise up, placing the hands on the knee. And we're going to lift that chest up and push with the hands on the knees. So we're balancing and strengthening and stretching all at the same time. Drop those hands down and around and up, and stretch up, and then take a little lift back if you can. You don't have to. Getting in a little more of a balance and stretch, and reaching forward, bringing those hands to frame the foot. Tuck those toes under, push up, send that right foot back, come into plank, and lower down for chaturanga or cobra. Lift up into up dog, and push back to down dog. Let's float that left foot up. And bend the knee as we bring it all the way through into our low lunge on the left side. Push back to get a little bit of a calf stretch in the right leg. Send that heart shining forward. Shine your light. Nice. And then place that right hand on the ground as we float that left hand up, coming into a twist. I love these twists. There's benefits for not only getting that stretch, but the organs and inside that are responsible for your digestive system are getting a workout here too. This is great if you have digestive issues. And release, lower down that hand. We're going to lower the back knee, flip that foot over, push up on the left knee, bring the hands onto the knee, and push up. So you might be feeling this in your hip, in your groin. And drop the hands down and around and up, and we're reaching up to the sky and taking a little bend back. And if you fall over, don't worry about it. Just laugh and pick yourself up and come back to join us. Bring those hands down to the ground. Tuck that toe under, send that left foot back, and lower down for chaturanga. Push up and back to down dog. We're going to come over to plank and drop the knees. And we're coming up into our onto our knees, and we're going to do some stretches here. So actually we're going to do gate pose, and I'm going to face you. So send that right leg out to the side. We're going to raise those arms up overhead and then take a bend over to the right. Reaching that right hand down the right leg as you're reaching that left hand overhead. It feels good to stretch after working so hard to decorate or lifting boxes of decorations. Oh my goodness. All right, and take it to the other side. Bring that right knee down. Send the left leg out. And take a lift up and over with the right hand as we slide that left hand down the left leg. I can't tell you how many boxes of ornaments I have stored in my attic. Every year we haul out the holly. Oh, that was so bad. Sorry. All right, stretch into that. Crack open that right side and bring it up. Taking in a deep breath and bring that knee back down to meet the right knee. Send those arms back around. Clasp those hands, and we're going to lower down onto our feet as we take those hands up and drop them overhead. Just letting gravity do its work here. And release. Bring those hands down to the ground, and we're going to send or tuck those toes under, come into plank, and push up into down dog. And then we're going to walk those feet forward. Take them out to the edges of the mat, toes out, heels in, and we're going to come into our yogi squat. Bring those hands together in prayer, pushing out those knees with your elbows. And see how low you can sit. And if your feet don't go totally flat on the mat, that's perfectly okay. You are where you are, right? This is a journey. And hold it, take a breath in. And as we let it go, we're going to rise up, sending those hands out in front of us. Rise up to stand. Bring the hands together, lower back down, bringing those hands down the center line, coming back into yogi squat. Let's do that again. Send those hands out, rise up, using the glutes. Bring the hands together, lower back down, bringing the hands through heart center. Let's do that one more time. Stretching out and up. Hands together and back down. Nice. Now, we're going to do an inversion. You can stay here or you can follow me with the inversion. We're just going to do a crow pose prep, but if you have crow pose in your practice, go ahead and do that. I just want you to feel what it feels like to be in this pose. So we're going to lift that tush up to the sky, rest the shins on our upper arms, and feel what that feels like to hold it there. Maybe tiptoe those toes to the center. And if you want to try to do a full crow, just nice and easy. Balance on your hands. Lift those toes up. Maybe experiment one toe at a time. Or maybe go a little further and do both toes. And release and let it go. And we're going to just walk those feet back to the back of our mat and lower down for chaturanga. Lifting to cobra or up dog and pushing back to down dog. We're going to walk those feet to the center of the mat. Rise up, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, and we're going to send those legs out to either end of the mat. And take a half bend or forward fold. Drop those hands in front of you. We're going to do another twist. Keeping that left hand on the ground, we're going to raise that right hand up to the sky, taking a twist. If you want to go deeper, you can drop that right hand behind your back and just grab that left thigh to pull a little more. This is one of the things that I love about yoga. You're using your body. You don't need any tools. You don't need to go to a gym. You just use what you have. We are resourceful human beings. And release, taking that right hand down to the ground. Raise that left hand up to the sky. Stretch it open. And if you did it on the other side, do it on this side. Drop that left hand down to grab the right thigh and pull a little deeper into the stretch. You got this. And release. We're going to take our hands over to the right, and we're going to take a little half lift, breathing in, and as you breathe out, fold over that right leg. Stretching only as deep as your body lets you. Do not push it. The tendency is to want to push it beyond what your body is telling you you can do, and that's not good. We tend to injury when we do that. And take a lift up, and we're going to walk those hands over to the other side, taking in a breath, and as we let it go, stretching out over that left leg. Nice. And we're going to walk those hands back to center. Bend the knees and bring the hands to your knees. So we are in this straddle position, and we're going to take the right shoulder to the left knee and stretch it out. So we're going to add some movement to this. Left shoulder to right knee, and right shoulder to left knee, left to right, and a couple more times, getting a little stretchier as we go along. And one more time. Nice. And release. So we are going to rise up, arms up, up, up. Tiptoe those feet together. And we're going to bring the hands together and take the right foot out. Actually, let's do it this way. This is a better entryway. Take the hands, reach them over to the left side, lift that right foot, and nice and easy, drop it behind that left leg. So we're coming into a full body stretch. You might feel this in your hip and your side body. So we're going all along the spine here. And release it up, coming into neutral spine. Drop those arms and raise them up again overhead. Bending over to the right. Gently pick up that left foot and send it over to the right. Stretching the legs, the side body, and reaching. Always reaching. And release, coming back up to neutral spine. Nice. Drop the hands. Come back into mountain pose. Reset with the breath. And we're going to bring our hands to heart center. And we're going to finish out a little differently today because this was more of an energizing, get you going kind of practice. I'd like to thank you for joining me for this brief practice. I hope that your day goes well for the rest of this day. Keep moving, keep flowing, and I will see you next time on Yoga in the House with Cheryl. Namaste.